this vlog's gonna be pretty rough because unfortunately my tripod and my camera and everything was left in Toronto. I've really been stressing out about this vlog about Toronto. I've been writing and rewriting and writing all this stuff out about Toronto and my experiences and just like such poetry in the way I've written the way I want a script talking about Toronto, but in all honesty, I think I'm just gonna shorten it up into a really small video. Toronto is huge. It's actually 4 times the size of any city I've ever lived in, and it was so overwhelming. Though it was super overwhelming, it was nothing short of absolutely amazing. I'd have to say the best part of the entire trip is the fact that I put myself out there, which I haven't been able to do living in a small town. I'd actually leaned away from the super social side of who I am and kind of got comfortable in a very small situation where you're just talking to locals. So when I first got to Toronto, I was super scared and overwhelmed, and it's so fast paced and there's hundreds of people on the same sidewalk as you, and it's just like so big. And I was very frightened by it at first, but I eventually just put myself out there. I just started talking to people, started talking to strangers, started talking to bartenders, went on a brewery tour, made friends with people on the brewery tour, and I'm just so thankful for all the people that I connected with and made friends with, because I would have never gotten to see Toronto from that perspective if I hadn't have put myself out there and put myself in the hands of people who completely just opened their arms to me and just treated me so well. And I'm so thankful for everyone. I feel like I have lifelong friends if I ever were to move there. The biggest part was just having conversation with such substance. Like, we just talked about big life things that I just haven't really had the chance to talk about or bounce ideas off of. And, you know, confiding in a complete stranger, there's some sort of beauty in that because you don't know them, so you can kind of just throw yourself out there. It's like, even if you never see them again, at least you like put yourself out there, and I'm just so thankful I did. Being a tourist was really fun, seeing all the neat shit, seeing the aquarium, the brewery tour. I did the CN Tower, I did the Allen Conservatory, so I went and saw gardens, and that was so beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I did a lot of touristy things. It was more of like kind of getting to see the city, get a feel for it, going solo. As for the conference, I was so overwhelmed. I walked in there thinking that it was going to be a few hundreds of people, and I didn't really know what to expect whatsoever. I get there and the lineup is a few hundred people, and I get in there and the auditorium is 3,000 people. There are 3,000 people there. So I sit down at the back, you know, and they started off really big, and I'm like, holy shit, like, am I even ready to be here? And I started questioning everything, like, am I ready to be here? Like, I'm not an entrepreneur, like, what am I doing here? And then after the first intermission, the guy beside me had said, like, he introduced himself, he said what his business was, all this kind of stuff. He's like, like, why are you here? What are you inspired by? And I'm just like, I have no idea why I'm here. Saying that coming out of my mouth, I was like horrified. I was like, holy shit, like, what do I tell everyone when I talk to everyone, or when I'm trying to make connections with people? Like, why am I here? And that really freaked me out. My intermission, I ended up going to the bathroom and crying because I was so overwhelmed. I was like, holy shit, I'm so not ready to be here. And I was freaking out so bad. Lunch came around, I went for lunch, I had a couple gin martinis, kind of got the confidence back. Going back in, after the second lunchtime intermission, I had actually connected with some of the people who were up on stage speaking to the whole crowd. And that's when everything got real for me. Bouncing my ideas I have to big people who have made it, and having a complete stranger say to you, like, that's such an awesome idea. Yeah, having these big sharks, as I call them, just tell me that I should go for it and give me cards of other people and names of other people and emails of people, and just like making all those network connections so fast like that. It was super crazy and amazing. It threw me a curveball. The biggest thing is just like, now that I have all this insight and have, you know, like cards, and like, I just don't know what's next, and it's scary. I think I'm gonna put in a little bit of a video of me kind of having a freak out after the conference. So here's that. So here's a more raw side of me, since it doesn't get shown a whole lot. I'm just like super overwhelmed from today. It was such an incredible experience, and it was amazing, but it put a lot of scary thoughts into my head, and good ones, really good ones, but scary. And it just opened up a lot of doors and perspective, and
I'm just really scared for what the future is looking like for me right now because, like, I lived in this city and it, ow, foot cramp. I lived in this city, ow, frick. I lived in the city and it didn't work out. And I went to such a negative life just to try to maintain being able to stay in a city. And I got away from that and I got used to the small town and I love the small town, but I just don't feel like I'm growing anymore living there, and there's nothing, like, there's just so much opportunity here, and meeting with some of these people who have made it and have companies and have grown, and it just makes me want to be surrounded by those kind of people, and it's so scary. It's so scary, and nothing happens in a day, but I'm just gonna start exploring, I don't know, exploring these opportunities, because today talking to these people and having people actually, like, give me positive reinforcement and care about me and say to me, like, complete strangers, say to me, like, I see what your vision is and you're gonna make it, like, seeing your charisma and your energy, like, I just know that you're gonna kill it, and having someone say that to me, like, a complete stranger, is such an emotional thing for me, like, because I don't get that reinforcement, and it's just been a really crazy day. And I first started out and I was so nervous and so emotional, and I thought I had, like, this confidence, and I walked in there and it was gone, and my anxiety was so high. Like, oh my god, I think there was like 2,100 people there. Being in a room, feeling that energy was amazing, and then it was emotional, and then it was scary, and I was just in my head so bad, and I had reached out, and someone gave me an amazing message to just get back into a better, like, mentality, going back in and having gin, and it kind of leveled me out. But I was so scared this morning, but I just feel so confident after talking to some of the people at the end of the day and making these network connections, and just, like, it sucks because I don't live here, and some of the people I met were like, here, I'll hook you up with this person and this person, like, we can have a meeting, we can sit down, and I'm like, I don't live here, and it just is so frustrating because I'm gonna build these connections, and I'm gonna build, oh my god, I'm gonna network and keep in contact with these people, but, like, it just sucks because I don't live here, and it can't be now, and I just, like, I'm overwhelmed, and I'm excited because I want it to just be now, but it's not right now. And, God, moving to a place like Toronto is so scary if I ever wanted to do it. It's just scary because it's huge. But I just wanted to give it some real talk because I'm, like, freaking horrified right now. But it's been such a good day.
So to end this video off, I just want to talk about what does it all mean? Like, what does this conference mean for me? What did this whole trip to Toronto mean for me? And, the biggest thing for me is just, like, perspective. Like, networking was really big for me, and that was a big thing going into it. But just perspective and hearing from other people what, like, they think, and people who have made it, what they think. And that was, like, that's a big thing for me. And, it's really scary because I had people saying, like, hey, come into my office on Monday, we can sit down, have an interview, like, I can introduce you to some more people. But it was so frustrating because I don't live in Toronto and I can't explore those options. And I think that was super frustrating for me because I'm here and I'm not there. And that's just, it's hard. And I know that a move to Toronto is not going to happen for a long time for me, just because I need to know that I'm 100% ready to move back into a city. I mean, Calgary was amazing, and I love Calgary, but, like, this city has its way if you're not ready to be there, and I know that I'm not ready to be in Toronto, and it's frustrating, but I just know that there are baby steps before you kind of, like, make that big jump. But I know that some of the mentors I have met with and some of the people I've talked to will be there for me whether I'm living in Toronto or not. And I think that was really, like, important for me because I had said, like, I don't live here, but I really would enjoy if we could stay in contact because I just don't have anyone to talk to about these kind of things, and everyone was super, just so kind to me. I have a newfound idea that I am going to start pursuing. I don't know if I'm gonna release it onto my YouTube and stuff. It's just like there's a lot I need to put into what this big idea is, but there is something coming and I'm very, very excited about it. And it was something I thought was the craziest and stupidest idea ever, but after talking with some people, they've really just like pushed like, you can make this happen, and just like hearing that was so meaningful to me. This trip has just done exactly what I was kind of scared for it to do, which is push me forward at like full speed. But I'm really excited to see what the future holds, because I don't know. I feel like after this trip I finally have meaning for a lot of what's going on with me and my life and everything like that. So I will leave it at that. That is my very shortened version of Toronto. All in all, it was the people that made it for me, and I'm thankful. I'm saying it again, I'm so thankful. And everyone enjoy your week. Thanks for watching, and take care. Also wasn't any comedic relief in this vlog, so sorry. It's just a deep ass trip. It's been oh, my brain's just spinning.